going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. I'll note that all board members are present with the exception of Charles Merrihew, who is excused. And we'll move right to the first item on the agenda, which is the acceptance of the February 16th, 2023 minutes. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next up, we have a report from our secretary. Good morning, Joe.
Yes, good morning, Mayor and board members. I have no communications to report today.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll move next on the agenda to our report from our program manager. And good morning, Chris.
Mine's not quite as short as Joe's.
It's okay.
But we'll do our best, right? So,
take your time.
Just want to report out on where we are with final payments for tranche 1. I've got one left, Huntington, which has been that way for a bit. So we're working on that one with the architect to try and get that one dialed out. So that's what we have left there. Final cost reports, we've got 6 out of 7 for tranche 1 are in, and the 7th one is just completely subject to getting that final payment issued for the architectural services, and then we can launch that one as well, get tranche 1 kind of wrapped up. Tranche 2, we're making good progress there as well. We've got around 5 payments left on that one between Nottingham, Clary, and Henniger, between the architectural and the general contractor. So we've got 5 payments left there. We're not far from those, and would anticipate those in short order. Cost reports on tranche 2, 2 of 6 have been submitted. I've got 4 to go, and again, it's kind of subject to we have to get the payment be completely paid out before we can file that cost report. But we're in good shape on those. Under construction updates, not a whole lot to report there except just at the concession stand. We are really close on that one. Just got to get the general contractor to print off the documentation, the closeout documentation, hand that off, and then we'll get that paid. And then Henniger, we're just continuing to work our way through punch list items. The work is really largely done there. Just trying to get through punch list corrective work and then get the cost reconciled there with some changes. And working our way through that, and anticipate that we'll get that here in the second quarter, by the end of the second quarter, and get that one filed and get that paid out. And then the Nottingham, Clary, and Elms largely the same, just chasing some closeout documentation to enable us to get final payment. Under constraints and critical issues, not a whole lot to report there. Just we're still working through a resolve to the claim that we had for Elms. That's still a work in progress. And then continue to chip away. We're doing well with change management and submitting the final change orders to state ed. We're about 70, almost 80% on that one. So that's about the extent of it. Any questions I can answer?
Any questions for Chris?
I don't have a question. I have a comment. I received a call Tuesday from someone in the community, and I guess they had been at the school and they did a tour, and they talked about how beautiful the school is. So I just want to let you know that okay. I got a good report on Henniger.
Yeah, which one? Which building?
Henniger.
At Henniger, okay.
At Henniger.
Awesome.
So they went through Henniger and they were very pleased with the way it was.
That's great.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Thank you. Anything else?
Anything else? Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. All right, next up we have our financial statement for January, and we're going to invite Donna up. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, we got our one-pager this month. Everybody got there? Yep. Looks like y'all got it. Perfect. Oh, my goodness, and it's in color.
Yep.
How about that? Okay, so our highlights for the month, we did have some interest earnings, vendor payments that were approved in January will be reflected in the February financials, and we ended the month with $8 million in cash and $97.9 million in fund balance. So the current month's activity for the cash inflows shows that we did take in $31,839 in interest. We received a National Grid incentive rebate for $116,415, and that was for Grant, Ed Smith, and Bellevue projects. Previous receipts from prior years that were reported in prior years was $150,000. So we're currently up to $266,000 in incentive rebates with more to come. The year-to-date column does reflect the activity for July through January and includes the subsidy payment, the interest earnings, the claim settlement, and the national grid rebates totaling $864,000. Our projected column reflects $34.1 million in state aid that we're expecting, $722,810 in subsidy payments, $160,000 in interest earnings, and $270,000 for the Ed Smith claim, and $185,000 for the national grid rebates. So the total projected inflows for 22-23 is $35.4 million. Our total cash outflow section, there's nothing to report for the month because the vendor payments for January were paid in February. But our year-to-date column does reflect the activity for July through January and totals $5.5 million in vendor payments, $6.5 million for a debt service payment that we made back in November, and a subsidy payment that was transferred to the district for $361,000. So our total projected column reflects the projected cash outflows for all of 2023. The projected construction and incidental payments is $10.5 million total. Our projected debt service payments are $34.6 million, which is due to happen in May. And our subsidy payment of $722,000 for a total cash outflows of $45.8 million. And so compared to the December statement, our cash increased by $148,000, leaving us with $8 million in cash and a fund balance of $97.9 million. So the bar graph does provide a visual of the actual cash inflows in the blue of $860,000 and projected inflows of $34.6 million in the orange. And then our actual cash outflows of $12.4 million is in blue, and the projected cash outflows of $33.3 million is in orange. And that is that. Does anybody have questions?
Any questions for Donna?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, last on the agenda, we have one resolution, so I will turn it back over to Joe.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have resolution number 3 of 2023, which would make our monthly payments for February of this year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Any other business to come before the board? Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.